Success is available to all of us if we can build self-discipline. Self-discipline is the secret to success. It is the one thing that all successful people have in common. 100% of successful people have developed the discipline to do things that they don't feel like doing as a way of achieving the things that they really want in their life. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the single greatest secret to building more self-discipline. And I'm also going to share with you the number one misconception that people misunderstand about self-discipline. I've written one of the best-selling books of all time on this subject, and it's so simple, but so many of us don't really get it. There's a lot of misinformation out there. So I want to dive in and start with, what is it about self-discipline that most of us misunderstand? Many of us think that if we struggle with self-discipline, there's something wrong with us. We think that maybe we're not destined for success, or we write it off as, oh, I don't have enough willpower. But that's not true. If you struggle with self-discipline, it means that you have a perfectly functioning, healthy, normal human brain. If you understand a little bit about biology and the neuroscience of what's going on here, this will change your mindset, and it'll help you understand why maybe you have struggled with this, or maybe someone you know struggles with this, someone on your team, maybe it's someone in your family, or maybe it's you. But if you understand the way the brain works, you'll understand why that is. And you will understand also that it has nothing to do with the idea that there's something wrong with you. Quite the contrary. If you struggle with self-discipline, it means your brain is normal. Why? Because the key insight you need to understand is that the human brain is not designed for success. The human brain is designed for survival. The number one function of the human brain is to keep you alive. And keeping you alive comes down to conserving energy, doing what is safe, and doing what is familiar. That's the opposite of success. Success is about expending energy, doing things outside of your comfort zone, taking risks, doing things you've never done before, learning new things. Success and survival are in conflict with the native design and default of the human brain. Once you understand this, you can leverage it to your advantage. Left to its own devices, the human brain will gravitate towards the path of least resistance. The reason that we called my book Take the Stairs is because for most of us, if the last time you were in front of a set of escalators and stairs, you probably took the escalator. We live in an escalator world. People gravitate towards the path of least resistance. Most of us unconsciously choose the escalator because our perfectly functioning, healthy, normal human brain is designed to default to conserving energy, expending the minimum amount of energy. So we get on the escalator without thinking about it. But if you're going to be successful, you're going to have to rewire your brain. You're going to have to form new neural pathways in your brain. You're going to train your brain to think differently. You have to train your brain to process choices and make decisions based upon a different set of criteria from most people. The reason why we refer to these top 1%ers as ultra performers in the Take the Stairs book is because they truly are unusual. They are ultra, they are extreme, they are extraordinary, they are unusual. Struggling with self-discipline is not unusual. That is normal. That's the default. Learning to rewire your brain for success is something that you can do, and it's so straightforward, and I'm going to share it with you here in just a minute. But you have to understand, first and foremost, you're left to its own device, the brain will default to the path of least resistance. You will default to the escalator. Now, if you want to build more discipline, if you want to become an ultra performer, if you want to experience success, if you want to be in the top 1%, then you need to develop what we refer to as the Take the Stairs mindset. And the Take the Stairs mindset is all about understanding one key distinction. And this is the number one strategy for immediately increasing and improving all of your self-discipline. It's something that we call the paradox principle of sacrifice. And before I share it with you, I want to share with you a story from my own life. In Colorado, where I grew up, we are world famous for the Rocky Mountains. That's what most people think of when they think about my home state. But what they don't realize is that Colorado is divided almost exactly in half, topographically speaking. To the eastern part of the state are the Great Kansas Plains. Because of that unique topographical landscape, Colorado is one of the only places in the world that has both buffalo and cows in close proximity to one another. And there's a fantastic lesson for learning about the principles of success and building your self-discipline from studying the way that these two creatures respond to storms. Storms almost always brew from the west. They roll out towards the east. A cow can sense that a storm is coming from this direction, and so a cow will try to run east to get away from the storm. The only problem with that is they're not real fast. While they try to run east away from the storm actually catches up with them rather quickly. Without knowing any better, the cows continue to try to outrun the storm, but instead of outrunning the storm, they actually run with the storm, which maximizes the amount of pain and time and frustration they experience from that storm. Isn't that stupid? Humans do the same thing all the time. We spend our lives trying to avoid the inevitable challenges that come with the difficult circumstances our choices have led us to be in. We want to be healthier, but we choose the wrong things to eat and the wrong activities to engage in or not engage in. We need to repair a relationship, but we choose not to engage in the constructive conversation that needs to happen if we're going to reconcile that relationship. We want to get out of debt, but we choose to spend money instead of save it. Why? It's because that is the easiest thing to do in the short term. We're being the cow. The key insight that the ultra performers have realized is they have realized that all problems that are procrastinated on are amplified. Waiting makes it worse. So what buffalo do is very unique for the animal kingdoms. Buffalo will wait for the storm to cross right over the crest of the peak of the mountain. And as the storm rolls over the ridge, buffalo will turn and they will charge directly into the storm. They run at the storm, and by running at the storm, they run straight through it, which actually minimizes the amount of pain and time and frustration they experience from that storm. Notice how it's the exact same storm. It's a great parallel and metaphor for success in life because all of us are dealing with the same storms. We have relationship battles, health struggles, financial issues. We're trying to be successful in our work life. We're trying to achieve personal goals or professional goals, and we don't always get to choose whether or not we have storms. We always have storms. The only choice that we have is how we respond to those storms and when we respond to those storms. But this buffalo mindset is representative of the take the stairs mentality of a 1%er, or what we call an ultra performer. It teaches us that you want to be the buffalo because of the pain paradox. The paradox principle of sacrifice: easy short-term choices lead to difficult long-term consequences. Meanwhile, difficult short-term choices lead to easy long-term consequences.